the PowerPoint, or I never would have gotten it done. I used to could do that, but not anymore. I'm not that good at it. But thank you, and thank you for all the soccer balls. I'll tell you a little bit more about that and give testimony from the young man that had the soccer ministry. Uh, the trip was made up of 12 people, but it was facilitated by Cookson Baptist Church, Jim Brunk and Ron Forrest and others there that got this to happen. And there were like 12 people from various churches. There were 4 from Short Baptist Church down by Belfont. There were 2 people from Park Hill Baptist Church, 1 lady from Idaho, a lady from Texas, a lady from Florida, and then 1 person from Barnesdall, 1 from Vera, and 1 from First Baptist Church in Stillwell. But it was really a good team. Like I said, it started with Cookson getting this idea together and making it happen in a lot of different ways. But we thought we had some trials and everything, and you know, whenever you have trials, like I'll show you pictures in the airport, but there can be opportunity for friction and so forth, but that never happened. And so it really was a good team effort. The organization that we went through is called Amazon Vision Ministry. And there's some of the guys, a couple of the guys that went on this team had been there before. Well, actually, 3 people that were on the team had done it before. But I'll share some slides with you, and then if you think of any questions you want to ask at the end, we can do that. Okay. Okay, this is the team. Actually, this picture was taken at the end of the trip, I think. But this is the whole team, the 12 from the United States, plus all the ones from Brazil that we couldn't have done without them, obviously. But this was on the front of the boat as we came back into the city of Manaus. Okay, the airport, we went to 2 or 3 airports. We had a hard time getting out of the United States when we got to North Carolina. It was the day they had the big crash of the computers, if you remember that, several months ago in July. And it shut down a lot of flights, not only us, but thousands of other people. And every time we would get ready to board, and I think one time we actually did board, they'd cancel the flight. And then everybody would hurry to get in line to go to the area, the service center, so they could try to rebook our flights. And this guy is Joe Roselle. He was our team captain, and he did a fantastic job. He's the most patient guy, but he'd run to get in line, and then they'd say, okay, go to this gate and you can board that plane. We'd get to that gate. No, it's canceled. And that happened over and over again. So, and he was having some back problems the whole trip. So he stretched out on the floor trying to get some pain relief. But I don't know how many hours we were there. We were there overnight. It seemed like the longest night in history to me, but it wasn't all that bad. You know, when you see on the news sometimes about people on vacation that get stranded for 3 or 4 days in the airport, I don't know how they do it. But anyway, Joe Roselle, he's from Vera, wherever that is. And that's yours truly, trying to find a place to sleep. I couldn't get under the seat, but I tried. But we just slept wherever we could. Some of them just would cover up with their coat or whatever and try to take naps. And like I said, it was hard, but it wasn't really all that bad when we stopped to think about it. The lady there in purple is Kennelly uh, Mooney. Her husband's the pastor at Short Baptist Church, and I wasn't there when it happened, but she fell out somehow. I don't know if she fainted or tripped and fell or whatever, but she was unconscious for a little while. And so here come all the EMTs and the police and everything. And they said, "Oh, you're going to the emergency room." And she said, "No, I'm not." She said, "I'm getting on the plane." So she talked them into letting her go. They checked her out and everything. But that's just one of the things that happened to kind of slow us down. Okay, this is the flight into Manaus. That's the capital city of the Amazonas state of Brazil. And you can see the water. And this is once we got to the Amazon River, and beautiful. There'll be some other really pretty pictures. If you notice, this water here is brown. In a little while, you'll see pictures of black water. And if you've ever seen pictures of where over here you got one kind of water and over here you got another kind, but they can't mix. We never ever see that line, but the water cannot mix, the brown and the black, because of the pH of the water. I don't understand all that chemistry, but this is Cheryl. She is presenting this little girl with a Salvation doll. A lady in Texas made, and I don't know how many, but she made a lot of these dolls. And it's you can't see it on this, so you'll see one later, but it's got the different colors where you can go through the gospel with the child. And they were a big hit all week long. Every time she would hand those out, the girls were so excited. This is in one of the clinics. The guy on the left is Eli, E-L-I. We would pronounce it Eli, but down there it's pronounced Eli. And some of you probably remember Marcus Sizemore praying with the lady patient there in the clinic. Okay, I had to get my foot in the water before the piranhas got to the surface. Okay. There's several good scenic pictures. This is their country flag from the back of the boat as we're on the Amazon now. Another beautiful picture of the scenery. At the back of the boat, they pulled 3 smaller boats, and the reason for that was with the, you'll see the ship later that we were on, but with these, in order to get on land, you had to use the smaller boats, and then they used them for getting around other places too. Another beautiful picture, the Amazon there, getting ready to go through a channel. There's, I've got lots of pictures of Marcus for some reason, but he is a great witness. We'd be in clinic and they'd be seeing patients and everything, and all of a sudden he just stands up and starts preaching. And he's a great witness. I know of one girl that came through the clinic. She's like 14 years old that accepted Christ as he witnessed to her there in the clinic. A lot of their houses, they build on stilts. I guess at times the Amazon can even get out of the banks where they're getting a little extra elevation in case the water does get up there. And they fed us great. I took a bunch of snacks and didn't eat a one of them because their meals were so good. And here's fish. Don't know what kind it is, but they fed us so good that week. This is worship time in one of the that we went to. On the left is Vance Mooney, the pastor at Short. Baptist down by Belfont. And then the two ladies there, this was really about my only contribution to the mission trip. The two ladies there were from Brazil, and the one in the Cheryl on the left, her and her husband have been missionaries in. They were missionaries in Africa for 20-something years. They're with Mission Aviation Fellowship, and her husband is now out there in Nampa, Idaho, where he's the trainer for mechanics that work on the airplanes. And that's what he did in Africa for many years. But I've been friends with them for a long time, and I had met her husband over at Henrietta for lunch one day, and I mentioned to him, I'm going on a mission trip to Brazil. And he said, well, let my wife know. She might be interested in that. And I forgot about it for a while, and then I contacted her and told her about it. She said, oh, I wish I could go, but I can't get off work. And then a couple of days later, she said, my boss told me to go. And so she was so excited. They grew up in Brazil, but neither one of them had been back there in a long, long time. And it was her dream was to be able to go back to Brazil, especially to do ministry. And they were so happy. And since they spoke Portuguese, natural translators, and they did such a great job. And I think they're singing "I'll Fly Away." Okay, on the left is Victor. He's a great young man, really committed Christian, and I think he's kind of in training to someday maybe do the job. Ellie, there in the middle, who's speaking, he's got some health problems and very limited in what he can do, and so Victor's his right-hand man there, and good translator, and then Vance Mooney there on the right. This was taken at night. As what we would do is we'd minister in a village during the daytime, and then at night, after we got back on the boat, they would go on down the Amazon to another village while we slept. And you can see that shark fin. Not really. I think that's a flag on the end of the boat. But that was a pretty neat picture in the moonlight there. And this is Ozark Go doing their job, trying to get us some electricity into the clinic there. And one of the villages was an indigenous village. It was a tribal area where the natives, indigenous people lived. And so the name of that village is San Francisco Indígena. Okay. They took us in a small boat around the shorelines, just taking in some of the sights there one day, and this man was out there fishing. We didn't visit that church, but that, as you can tell by the name there, it's Assembly of God Church there on the shore. Really nice building. This is at one of the church services. One of the church services at night. Gabe on the left is from Short Baptist Church. He's a 42-year-old man that works. He works for the school down at Belfont, and really active in the church there with the youth. And then on the right is his translator. This group right here, the lady in the middle is Dr. Luciana. It was her birthday, so they made her a really nice birthday cake. On the left is Joe Roselle, the team captain. And then Carol is in the red shirt. She's from Park Hill. And then Dr. Luciana, and then Barbara Hayes is from Park Hill. They're both nurses. And then Marcus Sizemore, a PA. And there's Marcus again. But and translator with, looked like probably a grandma with her grandson there in the clinic. When I saw this on the tree, I thought that's some kind of a fruit, but it's not. Those big pods there, they contain this cotton-like stuff, and the people would use the cotton for stuffing, just like in a pillow and so forth. That's just an interesting thing to see. Okay, there's Marcus again. And I can't remember his translator's name, but a young family there, he's seeing them. And like I said, he witnessed to probably everyone that came to his table. Okay, at church one night, the lights went out, and they didn't miss a lick. They just kept going. Vance got out his little flashlight and continued to preach, and Victor was his translator. That's their country flag there on the ship. Another one of the churches that we ministered at. And let's see, are we going to get to see this, Josh? I had to get in. And that's the Blackwater that I was talking about. And I didn't stay very long, but it was refreshing. So I did my dog paddle. And I didn't get bit by a piranha. But a lot of them would swim out there off the back of the boat. Okay, there's the two sisters, Cheryl and Leanna, and they were, like I said, they were such a blessing on the trip, and that they loved it. They loved the whole time being able to use their Portuguese and to witness to people. And I think that's a duplicate picture of that Assembly of God church. And just some of the scenery there along the edge of the river when we were in a small boat. And one of the guys that worked on the boat captured a little alligator, and a lot of the people were taking pictures. I told him put him on my shoulder, but he didn't stay. He jumped off it. Okay, there's Ellie and Victor, two great Christian men. In that indigenous village, this young man we met there, he had a business where he sold things that they make, and he's wearing feathers that they use probably and is just maybe to wear or maybe part of some ceremonies and so forth. And that's some of the people on the team with some of the people from that village there. And the young lady taking the picture, that's Dr. Luciana's daughter. She was a lot of help too on the trip. And there's the ship we were on. It is really nice. It's like a 4-story or 3 or 4 story. And they did all the cooking on there. Our beds, like my bedroom would be about that middle window right there. And very comfortable. It was immaculate the way they kept it and everything. That's what we traveled in on the river. And here, 2 things. First of all, the dolls that Cheryl brought, and those girls, you should give those dolls. And you can see the girl there in the light blue. She's got a doll with the different colors. And, they use black for sin and red for the blood of Christ and so forth. And so each time she would use that to share the gospel with those girls. And then Gabe is holding one of the soccer balls. Our church bought 15 soccer balls and pumps, and he's holding one of the soccer balls. And if I can get this on my phone, I asked him to share a a testimony of the using the soccer balls. Okay. He said, the school is, okay. We shared the gospel with almost 300 kids, no salvations, but lots of strengthening and seed planting. 3 stories stick out. The first school we went to of about 95 students had a tattered flat soccer ball. Edelson went back to get 2 more so they would have spares. One of the teachers said he had been there 7 years and no one had ever came and did what we did. He was a Christian and was greatly encouraged. When asked what they needed, he said paper and pencils. They didn't have paper and pencils. And so we went together and they sent somebody on shore to go get paper and pencils while we were there for that school. The third school we went to had around 85 students. We went class to class and emptied ourselves. The school representative couldn't believe that what we were doing and shared with us that he had fallen away from church. We were able to pray with him and encourage him. I'm blessed that in every village we went to, when it came time for service, there were always children standing outside the church house looking for the guy that played soccer with them earlier in the day. Their eyes would light up when they would see me, even though we could hardly communicate. Love you, brother, and hope this helps. And please let your church know that the soccer balls and tracts they sent were such a great gospel tool. They also provided lifelong memories for the children and I. And he told me after, he played with these kids every day, playing soccer. And he said after the first day, he said, boy, I thank your church for sending those soccer balls. After the second day, he was just so, but after the third day, playing soccer all the time, he said, why did your church send so many soccer balls? But they were really a good way to witness to the people. I want to share one other testimony from Leanna. She's the one that lives in Texas. I wish I could show you the pictures, but I didn't get these in time. But here's what she shared. I need to apologize. Okay. I think one of the most meaningful stories I have is about my friendship with Adriana. Excuse me. She was the lady that did all the cooking and cleaning on our boat. She and I became friends throughout the trip. She taught me how to fish the Amazon way using only a bamboo stick, fishing line, and a piece of bread tied on the end. From then on, we checked on each other every day, and eventually she opened up to me about having accepted the Lord but being far from Him lately. She was struggling with her marriage and family life, and I was able to pray with her and encourage her. The next evening, one of the other members of the team, Gabe, washed her dishes for her, and that gave her time to go to the church service with us. It was great to see her faith be encouraged in various ways by many of us on the boat. And I remember that night that she was able to go to the church service, and she was very emotional, and you could tell the Lord was working in that lady's heart. Don't have a whole lot more to share. Again, thank y'all for letting me share, and thank you for helping me to go. And if you have any questions, I'd be glad to answer. One of the things I remember years ago, I was sharing, I think it was about Nepal, and near the end, Dr. Taylor stood up and said, is anybody saved? And, that's the most important thing. That's why we go. And we didn't have bukus of people say, but we know of at least 4 that accepted Jesus Christ. And from these testimonies, you can tell that a lot of people were encouraged. I'm sure there were a lot of rededications. And being able to work with the churches is always an encouragement to the pastors there. And it buys credibility with the neighborhood when you come in and you have a medical clinic and you love on their people and they see that you care. So not a lot of numbers, but a lot of seeds were sown. And we're thankful for the ones that did accept Christ. I did bring back a piranha. I had a hard time getting him through customs. And I've had a hard time keeping him alive. But if any of you kids want to come up and pet him after a while, you can do that. Does anybody have any questions? Again, I thank you for all that you've done for the missions, for the trip. On another thing, I've got a request to make, a prayer request for me. Next week, I'm going to go to Arizona, and I'm going to go door to door, encouraging people to vote. Arizona is one of the swing states. There's about 6 or 7 swing states in our country that will determine which way the election will go. And they've asked people to come and go to encourage Republicans that have not voted in years to vote. And if enough people do that, it can make a difference in our election. This isn't about a person or a personality or even a political party, but it's about a platform that will support the sanctity of human life and family values. That's what we need in America. We've gotten away from it. Excuse me. But if you would pray for me, I'll leave Thursday to go out there, and I'll be there for about through Election Day. Kind of scary going door to door in a neighborhood like that, but they've got many other people that's going to be doing that. So if you would pray for me. It'll be Glendale, which is next to Phoenix. I think it's a good opportunity. I appreciate y'all. Thank you. I don't know. I never did even look at a map. I don't know how far from Rio. I'd like to have gone there, but I don't know. Anything else? Brother Scott, I'll turn it over to you. Thank you.
Well, I do appreciate Brother Jack. I'm just very happy that he has joined our church, become part of the family. Very active, and of course, not only going on mission trips, but active in the things of the church. He's always here in the shoebox ministry and helping out and visitation and prayer meetings, and he's always faithful. Appreciate you, Brother Jack, and your ministry, and of course, be praying for him. It takes a lot of nerve to go door to door around here. Sure enough, when you get out of this place, it's a little dangerous maybe sometimes. So pray for him. And we're going to pray over these shoe boxes. And all that wood to come up here, I mean, there's quite a bit of room. If you want, stand there, you can put your hands on them. That'd be fine. We'll we'll just pray. We'll get a couple of guys to pray. Kind of become a tradition. That these shoe boxes will end up in the right place. We know the Lord can do it. He's done it before, and He'll do it again. Brother Jack, can you pray on this side? Can you start us and you pray over the boxes? And Brother Ron, can you pray over there?
Father in heaven, thank you for this great endeavor, Lord, to share the gospel with children all over the world through these shoe boxes. When we dedicate these shoe boxes to you and to your honor and glory, Lord, as they go out, they'll bring smiles to faces. And, we know they'll bring encouragement to those people. And Lord, we know that a lot of lives have been changed because the message goes with these, the love of God that so many people don't know about. Lord, we pray for each and every shoebox. Lord, as it goes to its destination overseas, wherever it might be, Lord, that they be used of you to carry the gospel of the good news of Jesus Christ. In His name I pray.
Father, we do praise you for being so good, allowing us to be a part of this ministry. Father, I pray that you would allow us to plug in wherever we can, Lord, whatever we may be able to do to help see these shoeboxes get to the right place, to the right person. Lord, I pray that the ingredients, each person knows, Lord, will be just what they need in their life. And Lord, maybe somehow through what they receive, they'd understand that they too can receive you as their Savior. And Lord, I know that every shoebox will have a guide inside of it that can teach them and show them how they can come to know you. So I just pray, Lord, that you would use these simple tools, these shoeboxes, to reach boys and girls around our world with you. And Lord, thank you for Miss Jane and for others that take part to head up the work of this ministry. And Lord, I thank you for Franklin Graham and his vision to do this. I just pray, Lord, your blessings over all these boxes, the boxes that will be accumulated from around our United States and around the world and sent out to children that need to know you as their Savior. We love you. We praise you in Jesus' name. Amen.
If you would, Miss Jane, are you going to direct us when we get the boxes over there?
Yeah, we need 160 in each one of 4 rooms, not really over there.
Okay. You don't mind, we'll carry them over there. Wednesday evening?
If they'll stack them,
What?
if they'll stack them and stack 6, we can count them right quick. And I'll be pretty slow.
Okay, you tell us when you go.